Hello, sister friends. Oh, why is there an echo? Let's see if I can take this out. Shoot, there's an echo. There's an echo. I can hear an echo. I'm gonna figure it out. I do have, well, that means everything. Okay, don't want to do that. How do I, if I do this? Look at that. Don't want to do that. Oh my goodness, come on. People, come on, come on, come on, come on. How do I get rid of that echo? This is gonna be annoying. Hello, Scotland. Hi, Ellen. Um, there's gotta be a way. The only option they're giving me is to add to stage, not delete. I wanna delete this extra one. This is gonna be a long night if I sound like I'm talking from a tunnel. Oh my goodness. Hmm. Let's go into settings and see what we can do. Oh yeah, okay. Hotkeys, recording, audio, camera. Um, touch of my appearance. This is on the medium. I could look like I'm 8 years old if I want to. Let's see here. Let's see here. Um, um, any I want. Oh, technology is not our friend. I'm telling you. It's because, but I have the one mic muted. Oh my goodness. What if, no, I leave the studio, the whole thing goes away. That's not gonna work. Or will it? Let me try that. Let me try to leave studio, but I'm not gonna hit end stream and see if one of these goes away, if the echo goes away. Stay there. If you don't see me, hang tight. Talk amongst yourselves. Y'all are great at that. Okay. Okay. Can y'all hear me? That should have worked. Yay, I figured it out. Okay. So excited to be here. I thought it was a great episode. I don't know what these people are talking about, that it was a bad episode. I don't know who they are. Come on. It was a great episode. I know some people ahead of time. Was it Huckleberry? Was she the one that on Sunday night said didn't think it was going to be a good episode? And then afterward, no, it wasn't Huckleberry. It was somebody else. Did not think it was going to be a good episode. It was Elliot's mom. The name escapes me right now. And at the end, she's like, okay, yes, it was a good episode. But I don't know, all these people who watched it and at the end said that was boring. How could that have been boring? People, I literally spent almost 9 hours editing today. I only got 20 minutes of completed footage done. I still have 2 more hours of stuff that I have to get through. Now, some of it's the actual show that's in there. It's not all me talking for 2 hours. But I only started with like 2 hours and 35 minutes because I was putting clips of the show in there. too, to talk about it because there's so much to talk about. I mean, my goodness. And the grammar and the language is all over the place. Oh my goodness. Okay, my lips are really chapped. So we're going to be seeing a lot of this today. I apologize. I get this chapstick going. Oh, it feels so good. I love me a good chapstick. My dentist gives me a really good chapstick. I love it. Okay. Where should we begin? Let me look at the chat, which is up to a gazillion already. You've been chatting for the longest time. I love it. Okay, I'm going to say hi to just some people from the very get-go, and then we'll just start talking about the show. Just shoot out names, and if I repeat the names, just don't mind me. I'm just going to start saying names. Okay, we have Lisa, Lynn, LaShonda, Betty, Vladia, Tina, Kathy Ferran, Kathleen. Scroll, 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 scroll. And amongst yourselves, there was a lot of discussion going on. Kitty. And again, apologize if I skip over you. I'm trying to scroll quickly so that Mama Squirrel. Those who are watching, don't go, oh no, not 15 minutes of this. I won't do 15 minutes of this, just a second or two. Elizabeth. Danny Towns. And Lynn Skinner, by the way, thank you for moderating. Appreciate that. Thank you all for listening to her as moderator. She gets the final say. Tina Sims, hello. Elizabeth Murphy. Doc Karen's in the house. Hi, Doc. She's one of our 3 OBGYNs. Elizabeth Murphy, I think I said hi. Scarlett's here. Oh, look. It's in your perspective on Sister Wives. Sorrowful Raven, Brandy Phillips, Peach. Okay, this is the last group. Nana Cheese, Ethel, Vixen. Okay, that's it in that group. Okay, and then Angelina Jolie. Okay, so good to see everybody. I thought it was an amazing episode. I thought there was so much to talk about, and I don't know what I'm going to do about editing videos. I might just have to change my technique because I don't have that many hours in the day. And tomorrow is a long work day, so I'm not going to get anything done tomorrow. So I got to figure out. Obviously, it's not going to all be done in one video. I was hoping it would this week, but there's no way because there was so much to talk about. And I've got nothing to say about Christine. I don't even know if I recorded anything about Christine to say. I might have 3 sentences to say about Christine. This is all Mary and Cody and Robin. That is like 99.9% of what the videos are going to cover. Yeah, I don't even remember. I know I had written down like 1 or 2 lines on Christine, and that's it. So this is all, there's so much. All right, where do we begin? Where do we begin? A lot of laughter on Sunday night over Cody's hyperbolic speech again. We may have needed Life Flight if she would have had any tinge of pain. Love that line. Okay, that's the criteria. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Cody Brown. Tinge of pain equivals Life Flight. And on the video that I recorded, I said, this is very similar to those who go to an emergency room with a headache. But on the flip side of that, we have a man who saw a lady fly off a 4-wheeler, land on her back and hit her head. And the first thing he does is walk up to her and try to get her helmet off. Let me try to get your helmet. The last thing you should do. The last thing. There's a chance she should go to the hospital with that thing on. If nothing else, EMS removes it from her, not you. Oh my goodness. It's like both sides of the coin. The man, just clueless. Clueless all around. All around. So I found that interesting. The whole scene, semi anticlimactic. which is a good thing because I did not want her to be injured. I shouldn't say it was anticlimactic. She flew off that four-wheeler. She did. So I guess I shouldn't say it was anticlimactic. And Cody didn't disappoint. He was a complete fool. Did the wrong thing, said the wrong thing. The minute the man realized that she wasn't in grave danger, started going straight into blaming her and accusing her and questioning her for why this happened and what she was doing and why would you do that and how. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was just a narcissist being a narcissist, if there ever was a narcissist. And you know what triggered all of it is the fact that she said, I was trying to avoid you. Oh, trigger. He went off. Well, we're not going to let that just hang there. We're going to make it very clear this was you, Robin, not me. I didn't do anything wrong. And quite frankly, if you do rewatch it, it does look like it was Robin's fault. He was on the path and she was coming up from somewhere. I don't know. The producer was not expecting this either. She kind of came up over the hill and across the path, and then she saw him. And so she crossed the path to get over it. So because they would have been going head on the path. And it doesn't look like the path is wide enough for two four-wheelers. Maybe it was. I don't know. But it would have been tricky. I just don't know why they had to. It doesn't matter. I think her goal was trying to look cool and like, I'm not a stick in the mud that everybody says. Look at me. I can ride four-wheelers. I think that was the purpose behind it. And her just kind of driving all around, and Cody kind of doing the same. He was sort of going off the path here and there too. But like, what? Ooh, you're cool. You can go off the road a little bit and get back on. I don't know. I don't know. It's not the fact that you ride or don't ride four-wheelers that make us like you or not like you, Cody. It's who you are and what you say and how you treat people. It's not the actual activities that you participate in your life. Care less. It's the words that come out of your mouth and the intent behind all of them. That's what you need to change. And Robin the same, quite frankly. She just needs to open up, but not in this way. She needs to. I don't think she ever will, though. She is who she is, I think. All right. Patsy said, 2 stupid people on four-wheelers can be a disaster. Yes. Yeah, it could have been much worse, right? Yeah, four-wheelers. There should be a requirement for maybe an IQ test before you purchase a four-wheeler. Oh, goodness. Yeah, pretending to be a badass. There you go. Pretending to be a badass. Uh-huh. Yes. Lynn Skinner, calling people out already. Watch the French on the channel. Get the square jar out. Yeah, this is a good point, Teresa Skinner. Notice people get hurt when they're with Cody. Accidents happen when Cody is present. Mm-hmm. And who crosses in front of somebody else on an ATV? Yeah, how did she not know? Was she completely unaware that he was on that path? I mean, she had to have been, because why else would she do that? Why did she cross? I don't know. I mean, it's a futile effort to try to figure out what these people are thinking, quite frankly. We're going to hurt ourselves, hurt our own brains. It's not New Year's Eve anymore. I don't have alcohol with me. I just don't think. Okay. Why, who would remove her helmet is beyond me. Go figure. And then, she said, I hit my head. So, like, you're worried about it. And I was worried about a neck injury as soon as I saw how it happened because she kind of landed on her back. So I was thinking about a spinal cord injury too. It's like just you want to stabilize the neck. Now, he took it off so aggressively too. I was gonna go back and edit that and put it in there too. And at that point, I was just like, no, Jenny, stop. We were just at the beginning. I was already about 2.5 hours in, and I'm still at the very beginning of that show. Like, no, you don't need to do it because I hadn't said anything about it. So then I would have had to really go digging to find clips or something to go along with it to narrate or create slides or something and I did actually. I did take some time and start looking into that's too aggressive or something like that to go with it. And I couldn't find the right phrase, so I just let it go. But yeah, I mean, those helmets are on, it's to protect you. So they are on snugly. So in terms of getting them off, it's not that easy. I feel like she should have taken her. I feel like she could have found a way to gently ease it off easier than it is for somebody else to get it off of you. Well, certainly Cody too. A female may have taken it off more gently. A mother could have taken it off more gently. Cody, he doesn't strike me as the man who, does well caring for kids. I mean, he can't care for himself. Remember, 98.8 degree nightmare when he was about to die. There is that. I don't think I can use any of my emojis in here, but we'll see. JL was number 87 hitting the like button. Thanks, JL Carpenter. Okay. So, how is he the only person that didn't know you're not supposed to move the person or take off their helmet? Right? This goes to show you that producers really don't interfere. Because I can't believe somebody didn't yell out, don't take off her helmet. They just let him go. Okay. Very well. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay. She had to have been pretty sore. Yeah, I think her ego was really bruised because the cameras were going. So she was acting like everything was okay. The next day, she was probably really sore. Oh, thank you. Thank you for I'm testing it out. Is that where it is on the screen? It is on my screen. I don't know if it's mirrored or not. I just sent it to my daughter and asked her for feedback because I just created it today. I created it today when I created my pants on fire emoji Lynn Skinner, per Lynn Skinner's request and a few others. I don't have it uploaded yet, though. I haven't gotten into the whole YouTube, the bowels of YouTube Studio to get it uploaded, but I will by the next time we live stream it. But I got it created today anyway, right before I came on. All right. And you're right, Mandy. The last thing you need to hear when you're hurt is, I told you so. And I told you so. And then why do you keep doing that? And she's like, I didn't do that before. Yes, you did. Oh, that's just what you need after hitting your head. Yeah, after a head injury, you want to argue with somebody over whether you had done that move before or not. He may have been referring to, and I only know this because I've watched the little clip of it so many times. There was one time earlier where he was watching her and she was on the path and she went off over some little rocks slowly that was similar to that, but she wasn't like flying up and crossing over a path and going over. It was just, but I don't think it was any different than like when he went off the path and he just kind of went off to the side and she was just riding and turning around and looking at him. I mean, it wasn't much different than that. Of course, he said, I don't do that. I would never do that. Stop. I had heard too, now I don't know this as fact, rumor, that the accident that Dayton was in was further up north in Utah, but the hospital that he was in was down closer to their home, which means they took him a long way to get him to the hospital. And it wasn't like it was a place that didn't have hospitals. I think they wanted to take him to a hospital closer to their home, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the rationale behind it. But if that's true, I find it interesting that they would do that with Dayton, and that here's Robin laying there, like wiggling her knees and moving her hands. You could see that right away. So, you kind of knew, okay, we don't have a quadriplegic, we don't have a paraplegic on our hand. So, those are the first two things. Can you move your hands? Can you move your arms? Can you move your legs? And she could do that. And then she was kind of moving her torso around a little bit too. So kind of right away, it's sort of like, okay, all the major issues are out of the way. But I found it interesting that he's like, I might have life flighted her out of there. Goodness. Nothing but the best for his Robin. His sacred cow. Oh. There might be a sacred cow appearance in this upcoming video. Thank you, Angelina. That's very sweet of you. I think by current standards, I'm not a senior because I think it's changed now to 60. Used to be 50 and above, but I think it's 60 and above now. More Christine stealing. I don't know what that's talking about. Let's jump there really quickly, though, because we can check that box off in terms of talking about this episode and know that it's done. What does anybody want to... Does anybody want to say anything about the Christine episode? The only thing of note that I brought up on Sunday night was I did not like... I was panicked over the losing of Avalon, just because I had been in that situation before in my life. I was at a very, very crowded arts festival, and I had all 3 kids with me, and it was just me and the 3 kids, and they were young. My son was in a stroller, and my 2 girls were there, and it was really crowded, and they were trying to they were up by this booth doing some sort of art hands-on thing, but there were so many people that I couldn't be behind them and have the stroller. So I was kind of a step back because I had the stroller with me, and it wouldn't fit up there, and I wanted to stay with my son in the stroller, but I was watching them and I was helping them, and at one point, and then I turned back around and my son had just gotten up and gotten out of the stroller. I mean, I didn't know if he was taken out of the stroller. I didn't know what. Push forward to the end of the story, everything's fine. He was on camera here 20 years later. Well, at that point, it would probably have been about 18 years later. It was fine, but it was one of those moments where it's like a movie, where you're yelling out the name and it doesn't seem loud enough because there's so much commotion going on and there's music being played all around, and I'm calling his name, but nobody is stopping or looking or like, can I help you? I would think if I saw a mom calling a child's name, I would stop and go, can I help you? Where can I look? What's your child look like? Where was he last? What's he wearing? Nobody. It was, I got the goosebumps again just thinking about it. It was horrible. Probably lasted 3 minutes tops. Felt like eternity. So those moments come rushing back. Of course, he was buckled in the rest of the time that he hated being buckled in. He's buckled in the rest of the day. So that was a new scene. I appreciated it. I mean, just me personally had a little bit of anxiety attack watching it. Didn't enjoy the flashbacks, but I appreciated new content. I'm trying to think what else was new content other than that. The I remember truly saying something when the girls were all standing there at the night before the wedding when they were doing the facials and that. I don't remember her saying as much as she did. She may have. I didn't go back and look. That's the only other thing that I felt may have been new. So let me know what you think. All right. I think I just saw. I did. Michelle Lee B, 73. Oh, that's a great name. Michelle Lee B, 73. Robin was in no way comfortable on that ATV. Her whole I love speed and doing crazy stuff was such BS. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. Yeah. She was just, I'm gonna try to do this fast and make it look cool for the camera. Yeah. And then she wasn't comfortable. And then that's what happens when you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Trying to show off, I guess. Trying to be cool. And her whole line, I have to clip that out and put it in the video too. I haven't done that yet. But she said, I love motorized vehicles. That's what she said. I love motorized vehicles. We need to cut back, and I'm going to insert the line at Christmas time when Cody gave motorized vehicles to her kids, and she says, I hate motorized vehicles. I swear those are her exact words. If not, it's very close. I'm going to find that episode. I'm going to put it in whatever she does because I know she's not fond of them. And I feel like she says something similar to it after Dayton's accident, but there's not a whole, I don't know where that is. I don't remember what episode she talks about it. And they kind of just brushed the whole thing under the rug as much as they could. So I can't take the time to do that kind of digging to see what she says. But I do know at Christmas when those kids got it, in one of those talking head interviews, she said, I hate motorized vehicles. So with her saying, oh yeah, I've got this crazy past. I like to go fast. I don't think so. Thank you very much, Michelle Lee B73. I appreciate it. All right. Let me go to the end here and see if anyone else has anything about Christine that we need to discuss or talk about, because I don't think there was much. Lisa thinks it was staged. She was with grandma the whole time. Could have been. I mean, she could have been with the grandma the whole time. That's my question that I had that I put in the recording, and I think I said Sunday night too. Well, if grandma was there to watch her, why didn't she say, where's grandma? Why wasn't that the first thing? Why was she, if she didn't see Avalon, then unless Avalon was with her, like grandma was there to watch her, but she was watching her at that time. And then she got sidetracked and then Avalon was gone. And so she was running around. And I mean, I guess that could have happened, but still, I don't know. It just seemed weird that at the very end of all of it, she said, oh, or Christine, actually, I think. Wasn't Christine the one that volunteered that information? She was with Tony's mom, and Tony's mom was there to watch her. So she was where she belonged the whole time. So it could have been very much a stage scene. Could have been. Kelly G, 55 and above. Okay, so I'm a senior there. There you go. I'm a senior. Anything else on Christine before we move on? Aw, how sweet are you? Thank you. Oh, you know what? There's a filter. It's StreamYard. I'm on StreamYard now, and it provides this filter. I was on OBS before. And I tried to tweak a lot of things. I still made it look better than in real life. But StreamYard just has this sliding scale of pretty much a beauty meter that just puts you into a, it's like, do you want to take off 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? It's a lot. I'm in the middle, shockingly. I'm scared to see what it looks like. Sometimes when I look at it, it's almost a little creepy because my forehead is so incredibly smooth. I'm like, okay, well, let's just go with it. Scarlett says, moo. That man is so stupid. He had that many children, and they've all actually had injuries over the years. All children do. How in the hell did he not know how to deal with her properly? Very good question. Yeah. You're a senior if you go to Denny's. I don't go to Denny's. See, I don't. But I don't go out that much. The only time I go out to eat is if I'm getting together with a girlfriend to do something. I'm just not a go out to eat. I enjoy it a lot, but if I'm getting together with my kids, we go out to eat and all that. But my husband and I don't go out to eat. We just like make whatever we like here, our favorite things at home. So, you know what? I didn't mention Libby. Libby. You're the one that wasn't going to like the episode and then did. Now I remember. It's all coming back to me. I didn't mention that when I recorded the video, but it came to me the fact that with Mykelti, I don't think I said it. I don't know. It's all a blur because I go until like 2:00 in the morning. And so I don't know. When Mykelti gets thrown from a horse onto her back, she goes to the chiropractor. When Robin comes off the ATV, a lot closer to the ground, Cody questions whether he should get a life flight for her. There's a little discrepancy there. She absolutely should have gone to the hospital, but of course they don't believe in medicine. Yeah, that's true. Should have had her head checked out. And quite frankly, and I didn't mention this either, but the fact that she was a little bit of voice of reason in this episode makes me think she may have had a concussion. She may have hit that noggin harder than we realized because she was speaking truth a couple times and she was putting Cody in his place, which we've never seen before. There were a few times I was getting mad at Cody defending Robin, and then I'm getting mad because I'm mad that I'm defending Robin, of all people, because Cody was just that bad in this episode. He was just that bad. Somebody, I'm a squirrel, another death-like experience. Let's add it to the list. Death-like experiences. Although I doubt Dayton's or Truly's would fall under the death-like experience category. I think just Cody and Robin's are in there right now. Let's see here. Okay, I'm catching up now. Liberty Lisa, that panicked you too. Did you have that like feeling? I did see somebody on Reddit or somewhere say that it wasn't true because she was when Mykelti was yelling out her name, you could see Avalon in the background because of the color of the shirt. You know, you could see her. There were a lot of kids that were there, and so she was in the background, and she was in the background when you could hear them. But that was TLC splicing audio to transition from one scene to another, because we saw that scene before with Christine and David and her head on his shoulder and all that. That was last season. We saw all that. There was no yelling for Avalon in that scene whatsoever. And we saw that all the way through to the end. And when you hear the voice going, Avalon, Avalon, as Christine's just smiling and hugging. Now, there's no way Christine would have continued to smile and hug on David if her daughter would have been panicking, yelling out her granddaughter's name. So that's one clue that these two did not go together, that it was spliced together. Number two, Mykelti was standing right there too, and her mouth wasn't moving. So Mykelti was standing, so maybe if they were one scene, I don't know which one happened when, but at this particular moment, when you hear the voiceover of Avalon, Avalon, before they went into that scene, in the very back, you see Mykelti and Avalon just standing there with a group of people. and McKelty's not yelling anything. So it's an audio transition that happened. So, yeah, so that in terms of being a fake scene and, oh, she was there the whole time when they were calling her name. I do think that she didn't know where she was at that given moment. But I also think that she probably should have said, where's Tony? Maria? I think her name's Maria. Where's Maria? Does anyone know where Maria is? Let's find Maria because we need to see if Maria has Avalon. That should have been number one. All right. Liberty Lisa said that part wasn't staged. You could feel the panic. I mean, I think so because I felt the panic. I literally felt the panic. But again, I could relate to it. Oh, hi, Cindy from Oz. Grandkids napping midday down in Australia. Thanks for being here. Okay. See, Mama Squirrel, not staged. Not staged. I don't know if every time I hit these names, they're showing up or not. I just realized. I don't think it was staged. I don't. But a lot of people are saying that out there. I really don't. I don't. And I watched that scene so many times. But I remember it so well because I edited it last season and watched it so many times. There was no yelling of Avalon's name during that hugging scene. So, yep, they put it together. Okay. Since you didn't know, I was concerned about Avalon too, but who amongst us has not lost their child at least once? Yeah. All right, we should do a poll. Who has lost a child the most? I could say twice. My daughters once. They were together. We were in a department store, and I was in line, a really long line at this department store to buy something. And they were with me, and they were looking on racks together. And they just kept meandering, and then I couldn't see them, and then I didn't know, and I wasn't sure where they were. And before I knew it, department store lady brought them both back to me. They were probably like, I don't know, 6 and 8. Like they weren't young. They weren't like Avalon's age, but they also weren't like tweens yet. They were kind of in that in-between age. So I was a little concerned that I couldn't see them, but at the same time, I knew they were together. I also had another panic. Okay, 3 for me. I was at the mall, and I had the double stroller, and my son was in the double stroller, and then the 2 girls were walking, and sometimes my youngest daughter at the time would jump in the stroller just because she was always really, really lazy when she was young. So she would not want to walk, and then she would get out. But so they were walking. We were at the elevator, and it just goes from the second floor to the first floor to the second floor. That's it. And it's a glass elevator, so you can see in it the whole time. So it's one of those. So we were at the top floor, getting ready to go down. I got this big double stroller. The door's open. To wait for everyone to come out because you got the big double stroller. It's not that big of a elevator. I go in. Of course, everybody's rushing in around me, and I go to get in, and I couldn't get the stroller in. Now the girls had rushed in ahead of time, and I'm calling for them to come back out, but they can't hear me. And now they're like 3 or 4 deep, and they're in looking straight out because it's a glass window, and they're all excited to watch it go down. And I'm calling for them. And then the doors just close. And like, there's part of me at that moment that thought, this is going to teach them a lesson. Because I knew they would just come right back up, or they would just stand as soon as they got off the elevator with like really big eyes, like, Mom. Like I knew that they wouldn't go anywhere, do anything or anything crazy like that. Okay, now again, we're talking 25, 27, over 20, good 25 years ago. So back then we didn't worry as much about like somebody just grabbing them and taking them. Of course, that was also before my son went missing as well. Anyway, they did stay in the elevator. They didn't get out. Once they realized in the elevator, probably partway down, I wasn't in the elevator with them. They probably panicked and amongst themselves just said, let's just stay in here. And then they came up and they were in there and they looked at me. Mother walked in with a stroller. You stay with me. You don't run ahead, right? They never did it again. Okay, so 3 times. For me, Mother of the Year, Mother of the Century. Can't even say decade because it was longer than that. Okay. All right, so I think that's it with Christine, right? We can move on from that. I don't think anything else happened. I feel like there was one other line. Oh yeah, the Truly thing was cute. I think she said like they added one extra line about her liking David at the very end there that wasn't at the, because I know she said one thing, but I feel like the second line was added. And I think that's it. I think everything else was an exact replica, which is discouraging, can I say, because they take hours and hours and hours and hours of footage. We saw nothing of David going out with the guys. Maybe they just didn't take a camera at all. Maybe they didn't want to. I don't know. But we didn't see that last year either. And we didn't see it this year. There were no conversations that could have been added. Like nobody said anything of, it doesn't even have to be of interest, just different. Like it doesn't, because what they said wasn't like that interesting anyway. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay. Thought I lost my 3 kids grocery shopping once. Oh, 3 kids. We looked and called her. Oh, one of my 3 kids. Okay. We looked and called her. She was in the bottom of my shopping cart the entire time. Just didn't answer when I called her. Those kids, those rotten kids, they have no idea what they do to us. Oh, fell asleep under the round racks. We looked everywhere. Oh, even an Amber Alert. See, yeah. Oh, Joni. I can only imagine. Who was it on Sunday? Somebody said that, was it their kid or themselves? We're at a department store and there were tents and they just went into the tent, hung out. All right. Okay. Oh, that could be it, Sam. Robin's trying to replace Daredevil Mary and Christine, but she can't because she's too afraid of everything. Good point, Sam Stewart. That could very well be it. Okay. Before we switch over, I am going to read, because it's part of the tier benefits, exclusive SOS supporters, which are the ones that are scrolling down below right now. And then I will be scrolling the rest of them. Actually, I'll read the exclusive SOS and the big supporters at this point, because those are the ones that get the shout out. So let me shout all of them out right now. I'll start with the big supporters, and they are Linda Weckerly, Negla 3, Carla Colson, Aaliyah, Crafty Florida Lady, Shaniqua Smith, That's My Shoe, Lisa True, Knit My Bit, Elizabeth Murphy, and Lynn Skinner. And then our exclusive SOS supporters are Lisa, Alexandria Swan, Sochitel, Amarillo. Oh, I'll never fluidly say that. I feel so bad. I should, before I go to bed every night, I should say 5 times. Joni Crawley, Holly Jones, Joni C., Susan Price, Brenda, Sherry Pasick, Lisa Gaska, Tracy, Evie, Kendra MP, whoops, Evie, Kendra MP, Laura McWilliams, Rain Lady, Ladybird's mom, Cheryl Smith, Steamfrog 99, Living an Eclectic Life, Sarah Lewis, Libby Scher, Sean J., Marie Crabb, Waldo's mom, Laura Bondurant, Sharon, Dee Dee, Lisa F., Danny Towns, I'm Your Huckleberry, Ms. Lita, Julianne Kenkel, Michelle, Sunrise Sunset, Kaylin, Donna Redmond, and Jessica Denham. And Tracy's from Tracy's Fractured History and more. All right. Shout out to all of you. Fantastic. And in a little bit, I will be switching the banner down below to the other tiers. Okay. Cindy, I didn't even think about that. Robin was just copycatting Janelle and Christine on ATVs at Christine's Brothers. And she probably tried to one-up them because they were just like taking their good old time going along the path, right? So she's like, I'll do it crazy because I'm cooler. Yeah, Scarlett, they are quite dangerous. A kid in your hometown recently got killed driving a four-wheeler over a bump. Yeah, they are dangerous. They really are. One of the neighbors in the cul-de-sac around here, we have kind of woods behind us, sort of a patch of woods, enough that there are four-wheelers that go back there. I don't see them, but I hear them. Because they're not really, they shouldn't be behind our house because of wherever the property is. They probably are. I don't know. But other than that, it's pretty neighborhoody. So out closer to like where there are more parks, this other family takes their ATVs, and the mom on her ATV went off the side of a cliff. Yeah. Rolling down, ATV over her. Talk about life flight. Yeah. She was like in traction for months. I can't believe that she was able to walk and pull it all together after that, but it was really serious. Yeah. There's scary. Oh, good point. I haven't gotten to editing this yet, but Betty, the fact that he said behest, I just laughed out loud. Behest? Seriously, Cody. Seriously. Old English. He either speaks the King's English, Old English, English as a second language. I think on my video, I said he thinks he's in Game of Thrones or something. Behest. Nobody says behest but Cody. He was watching some movie. He was probably watching Game of Thrones, and he heard the word and thought, oh, that's a good one. Right, write that down. I'm going to incorporate it into my next. Nobody says it. And I guarantee you Robin had no clue what he was talking about. The conversation, to get back to the four-wheelers now, between Cody and Robin, let's move up the hill now. The conversation between them was semi-maddening because Robin was trying to pin him down. Okay, we have to remember that this is right around the time of the tell-alls talkback thing. So right at the time they're recording that is when this is sort of happening. So this is around the time she's hearing for the first time him saying, I never loved any of my other wives. So she's pushing it forward. Now, it kind of seems, because TLC's so far behind, it seems dumb but we have to just remember timelines here. Okay. So she's pushing him on it. She's like, you're just saying crazy stuff. And at first I'm going crazy because I'm like, can we stop talking in this ambiguous language again? What crazy stuff? What great. So then finally she admits what it is that she's getting at, and that he didn't love his wives. And then he denies that he ever said that. And then she says that he did. And then she's like, you need to explain that to me. I remember her spinning her head. You need to explain that to me. And he doesn't. And then he kind of changes the subject. If I were to, honest to goodness, that conversation, I could just do a whole video and we could go line by line by line and realize they're not talking to each other. Like, he says something, she reacts to it. He might then respond to what she says, and then she tries to get him to go back, but then he tries to defer the conversation to something else. And then she refers to the deflection kind of, and then he's on another subject, and then she's talking about something else. Like, listening to their conversation, and then at the end, she just kind of like nods and agrees. And I'm like, holy Toledo. It's like Dumb and Dumber almost. It's so maddening to listen to it because it's not really a conversation. Now, I understand, well, I mean, really, let's face it, she's a narcissist too. They're very different narcissists. He's like an overt, grandiose narcissist. She's the covert, vulnerable narcissist. So they're very different narcissists, but they really both are. And if you've ever had a conversation with one for an extended period of time, especially if it's contentious at all, it's like going round and round the merry-go-round. But then before you know it, you're on another merry-go-round, and then you're on another merry-go-round, and then you need to get back to that one, and you don't know what's going on, and your head is just spinning, and you try really hard to focus. Wait, like stop the merry-go-round. We're talking about this, and there's, like you have to consciously keep trying to bring it back to the point at hand. And I felt like at one point during this conversation, she was doing that and like trying to get him on point. But then he just deflected and went off and uses language, uses words. It's hard to even call it language, puts words together that have almost no meaning when they're put together, in our language anyway. And she'll just nod. I don't know if she nods because she thinks he's brilliant and smart and he's saying something that's very astute and she's not getting it and she doesn't want to admit it. So she's just nodding with him. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. But it was a crazy conversation that kind of went nowhere. But there were a couple times in there where she did try to keep him on task and keep him accountable. And he kind of broke a little bit. Really, it was in the Talking Head interview that he did the admitting that he's a flip-flopper when it comes to talking about his wives. And this was recorded a long time ago. He was already admitting he was a flip-flopper. But then that's what's maddening about it too. That could be a whole nother separate video of how many times in this video alone he said, I didn't love any of my other wives. And she said, why, or she said, why are you saying you didn't love any of your original wives? I never said that. No, you've been saying things like that and it's confusing me. I don't understand. Well, I've said, and then says something completely different. She's like, no, you need to explain to me this. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's just, I didn't know a love like this. And my head is spinning so much I don't even understand the point that I was getting at. What was my point in all this? I'm getting caught up in the conversation again. It was so hard for me to try to filter through and figure out exactly where we were and what we were talking about. I don't understand either if Cody is intentionally trying to get out of things and deceive her, or if this is just how he talks all the time. If he lives in a world where his head is just words and thoughts and ideas and pictures maybe, and nothing real concrete. And so he just says things and just lives his life that way. Because this is common. This has happened so much. It was driving me crazy. It was really driving me crazy. All right. Whatever my original point was, I'll get back. See, I'm a senior. Who was that? Was it Alexandria? Senior brain. I'll prove to you I'm a senior. Just hang out here. One live is all it takes. Oh, okay. He said some horrible things on this live. Just some horrible things. Okay. Okay, let me try to catch up here in the chat. Libby. Yes, I was wrong. You were right, Jenny. To be fair, I based my assessment on the TLC preview, which I now know can't be trusted. Yeah, that's true. That very well said. TLC cannot be trusted. Mandy, in other countries, a helicopter will come and get you for free. Dab. Yeah, not in America. Concussion protocol? Yep. No concussion protocol taken here. Not at all. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't yet. And then also let us know what number you were when you hit the like button. Shout you out when we see it. Scarlett, you got the little emoji next to your name. I don't even recognize it. Does it show up on here? What is that? Did you do that? Because I know you're a member, so normally it would have the 1, the 2 inside the hearts. Or I don't know if my things are looking different. Anyway, Mandy, absolutely correct. I had one cousin life flighted out of very rural Montana, and we did not move him. Yeah, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to move him. Especially the neck. Okay, Doc Karen, not believing the ATV scene. She thinks it was all staged with a stunt double. But I did think it was a nice touch with the cameraman running towards her. Gave me shades of Saving Private Ryan. There's a blast from the past. Saving Private Ryan. That was a good movie. I want to know what Cody was referring to, too. He ran up to her and he goes, okay, so what's wrong? Oh, yeah, look at this. I'm like, what? Look at what? I think it was like he made that exasperated thing like there was a compound fracture or something. Oh, yeah, this femur sticking out to the left. I shouldn't be doing that. Oh, yeah, look at this. Then she was fine. And then he asks her, is anything broken? I don't know. Okay. All right. Pamela fast forwards through the Christine scenes. Yeah, that's all TLC's fault. Who wants to see the exact same thing again? If we're going to watch it again, we're all going to watch it together and talk about it. Right? We'll do that. We'll start season 1 after this season ends. We're not going to just sit and watch TLC air it again. No way. Boring. Okay. So up on that hill too, in New Zealand, I'm pretty sure the helicopter is free, which can be controversial when people make terrible decisions, but stupid people deserve saving too. Yeah, true. Aw, I wish I was yours too. Or neighbors. Wouldn't it be great if we all were neighbors and we like all lived in the same community? Bunch of cul-de-sacs together, all hung out, went to the party center and to the pool during the summer. Well, we could go year round if it were a nice weather area. I live in Ohio, so we only go in the summers. Okay. 157 on the likes. Yay! Okay. Did Robin get off the bike and get her hair done? Why didn't she have helmet hair? Oh, yeah, I don't know why she didn't have helmet hair. But we know that she didn't do her hair that day. And I think her hair looked the best that it's looked in forever. I think she took a decade of age off of her by getting rid of the big bouffant, big uncombed out, big curler curls that she always has, making her head look this big. She didn't put them in because she had the helmet on her head. So it was just, her hair was just straight. I don't know if it's her or her mom who likes that, but my mom accidentally locked me in the car while a tornado was in the area, but I'm fine. It's scary. Oh, goodness. All right. So let's talk some more about that scene before we get to Mary. Let's finish up with this up on the motorcycle scene. Okay, what else was said up there? So she calls him out. I haven't edited this yet, so it's not as I feel like I'm not as prepared tonight, so my apologies. One, because I'm not as caught up on the editing, because I had a lot going on Monday night and then this morning. And then two, it's just taking me forever to edit this episode. The courtesy desk at Poshmark. Is Poshmark actually a store? Does Poshmark have an actual store that you can go to somewhere? Oh, yeah, Adam Walsh. That was all over. That was back when we had milk cartons, wasn't it? He was on the milk carton. Oh, they call it a code Adam in retail now because of Adam Walsh? Pamela, my 75-year-old mom got lost at Mall of America. Oh my goodness. They didn't have an announcement system, and I cried for 2 hours. She shopped the whole time. She's fine. Retail therapy for mom. You cried the whole time. Yeah. Oh, goodness. That's funny. Mom, where were you? Oh, look what I got, sweetie. She probably didn't even realize either. Has it been 2 hours? Really? Okay, let me pull up. Here it is. Oh, one of the ways that Robin called out Cody in this episode was saying, he's like, oh, what did you want me to do? Be romantic? And she goes, well, you used to be. I love that. Remember when? That was good. He always has an excuse too. Oh, it's been 2 years, Cody. Just not romantic because she's not your priority. You are. All right. So I felt like we're going to have an hour conversation about the wives thing was okay. They kind of planned out what they were going to say and they were going to go up there and they were going to talk about it. But there came a point where I feel like it became very real for Cody. And I don't know about Robin. I can't tell with her. She always looks the same, but you could you you can sense when Cody loses control of himself, and he was starting to lose control of himself. He was, and when he like does that, leaning in and leaning forward and talking to you, and he started doing that to her with sort of like also like that little smile, that little smug, like, do you think like he, he was losing himself. He was losing control with her. And it was because she kept saying that he needed to keep trying with Janelle. I mean, it's beyond beating a dead horse at this point. It's like digging it back out of the grave and continuing to beat it. Like I don't know. It makes me wonder if he really shares anything with her. And I'm thinking he might not. I think he just wants a happy wife and a happy Robin, and life is easier for him when she's happy. And by saying things are not going well with another wife makes her not happy. So I don't think he talks to her about it, quite frankly. And so I think there is a very good possibility that some of the stuff that we see in terms of their conversations about the other wives are words that she is hearing for the first time and that he's sharing with her. Overall concepts he's shared before, but in terms of her really understanding the depth of where they are, I think some of that comes out on camera. And maybe even Cody wants it to come out on camera so that it's easier for him. Like she won't keep pushing him if he says it's over. It's officially over. I said it's over. Janelle said it's over. It's over. Although she pushed about 3 or 4 times, maybe more after he said that. Like he was good. Like, I mean, at that point, I was almost on Cody's side. I was like, oh, Lord, she's driving me crazy. How many times? But he's had it. He's had it with her saying, you have to stay. But then we have this huge concept to deal with now. This huge concept of Cody well, 2 huge concepts of Cody lying to us for all these years. Okay. So we'll get to the premarital sex in a minute. But before that one, we have the notion of I am the leader of the family and there is no head wife. Completely debunked in this episode. And, you know, we knew it anyway, right? I mean, but he comes right out and admits it. And he kind of, again, did a little bit in the past, but not as much as this episode, by him saying Robin kept insisting over and over again that I needed to stay with Mary. I should have left her a long time ago, decade before that, whatever it was he said in terms of the timelines. Should have left at this point, should have left at this point, but Robin kept saying, you have to keep trying, you have to keep trying, you have to keep trying. Translation, I do what my wife tells me. I do what one of my wives tells me. That would be a head wife. So now we do have a head wife, and I do listen to what Robin tells me to do. So that if you think I listen to what Robin tells me to do, you don't know me. Whole line that he gave Mary when he was sitting on the couch there. Which, I mean, we all knew it was acting anyway, because it was such bad acting. It was really bad. It was all just to deliver to the AUB leaders, because he's been masculinized. Is that a word? I made it a word. Through the leaders of the church allowing Mary to leave him, and by them saying that he abandoned her. So I think this was his way of trying to let them know, no, I'm still in control. I know 2 wives are now gone, but I'm still in control. And they didn't go because I'm not in control. I am still in control. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I found that very, very interesting that he admitted that, really. Let me pull up and get more current. Oh, so much in the chat. Okay. Mom Corpse Maker says, the only way Cody and Robin are interesting is if one of them is in physical danger. Robin's begging him to work on his marriage with Janelle because she doesn't want to lose the show. Bottom line, true. She doesn't want to lose the show. And I have a new angle that I think you guys might appreciate that's in my video. I'm not going to give it all away today. I'm going to tease it. I'm going to tease it for my video. I have another reason why I think Robin wants to keep it besides that. But I've always been, it's about the money and it's about the fame, the show which brings fame and fortune for her. And that's all she cares about. But I kind of come from another angle too when I was recording. And I just got finished editing that little section. That's as far as I've gotten on this video. Oy vey. All right. I just saw something else I was going to click on. What was it? Mandy. This wasn't it, but this is interesting. Well, this kind of goes into, hold on. Before I talk about that, Mandy, let me just go into the next. Well, I don't even know. Okay. So we're still in the Cody section, I guess. And then all of a sudden in the Talking Head interview, he starts sharing a secret that in the past. So this makes me think that they've decided that they were going to share secrets on this episode. Like he and Robin were going to reveal something because they needed to keep the show interesting. So he was going to share a secret. She was going to share a secret. Her secret is that she wrote ATVs in the past and that she has this wild and crazy past. Okay. And Cody's secret is that he had a tryst in college. Only did you all listen carefully? And I went back and listened a million times. We talked about this on Sunday night. And I couldn't find it to replay it. But when I heard it, I was like, what? He referred, I haven't edited it yet, so I can't remember the exact wording of the lines. But he referred in the tryst to the other person as either him, he, or his. There was a male gender reference in there. It seems so clear to me. And like when I first heard it, so clear that like when I heard it, because you wouldn't expect that I was like, what? And then on Sunday night in the chat, other people were like, I heard that too. I heard that too. That's what I thought I heard too. I'm like, what? And so when I was just hitting some of the recording of the video, I hadn't done the editing of it yet, but I was just trying to record some of the show bits that I knew I was going to be talking about. And I heard it again. I'm like, that is what I hear. That is what I hear. That is not what they put in the closed captioning. But I don't know if that was intentional or not. And I don't know. And then he goes on to say about like, and first of all, he refers to the person as his lover, right? Did he refer to him as a lover or was it a love affair? I wish I would have seen it before coming here. I could probably try to find it while we're talking on here too. One of the things that stood out the most about that for me was it was completely unrelated to what we were talking about. It was sort of like whiplash. Like what? Whoa, what we're talking about you in college and you had sex in college? What? We're not talking about sex in college. Wait, whoa! This could have been a whole episode. This is TLC dropping the ball in the biggest way, because he also manages to mention, I guess the whole connection was just the fact that this is how connected, out of all the ways to explain why he's connected to Robin or how he's connected to Robin, the way he chooses to explain that he has a close connection with Robin is the fact that he had a tryst in college, had sex before he got married, and told Mary too, told Mary and Robin only, told Robin within a month of knowing her. That's how connected they are. Well, the girl got knocked up before she got pregnant. Of course he told her. He was trying to make her feel good. This is not news. So, whatevs. But I'm going to keep looking here to see, as we're talking, if I can find it. It might be hard to find because it was just this random comment out of the blue. And then I'm like, well, is the point that you're not that close with the other two? Is that what we're trying to get at here? And I'm so angry that they would drop something like that, but not talk to Janelle and Christine for a reaction. So I'm saying we could have an entire episode here. We could be, oh, I think I found it. Okay. Hold on. I don't think when I play this, you're going to hear it. So I'll play it, but it might just be muffled, but I'll tell you what it says. You want to know the craziest thing? I had a lover in college and he was a little tryst. I was a naughty boy. That's what he said. I had a lover in college and he was a little I swear he said he was a little tryst. I don't have my phone here with me to like pull it up and play it, but I mean, everyone's times are different. On the Spectrum app, which is on the TLC channel, it comes in around the 47th minute. So I feel like that he is a significant thing we can talk about. This episode is just packed. My goodness, the people out there saying it was boring, I just don't understand. Maybe because I'm a speech language pathologist, I dive too deep into all of it. I probably do. How do I end up with hours and hours of video footage? I do. It's my Achilles heel. It's killing me. All right. So there's that. And then there's the fact that he just randomly threw it in there. Why does he want everyone to know this? What is the point of that? And again, could be an entire episode. No reaction from Janelle and no reaction from Christine, who are the two wives their entire lives did not know this piece of information. He kept it from them. He told it to the other two wives. So only the two of them were kept in the dark about this information. And there were a lot of conversations. See, Mykelti, I'm pretty sure Mykelti lived with Tony before they got married. So, and I think Mykelti also was dating a bunch of older guys, or I can't remember how she put it. Guys from another college. I don't remember. It was kind of a confusing when she was explaining it, and how her dad wanted to meet certain ones beforehand, but she was sort of like, I just sort of had this wild time. She would just refer to it as like this wild time, and gave the implication that maybe she followed Robin's path. So I'm sure she was given a guilt trip from her father. And now knowing this information, wouldn't it be great to have her on camera and just get her reaction? And the boys, because Hunter at the one time said, I don't really see a problem with it as long as you're in a relationship. He said that, I think it was back in Vegas at one point, like under his breath at some point. Yeah, it would be great to get all these reactions. Nothing. We got nothing. Absolutely nothing. He randomly just says, you want to know something funny? Lover. Yeah, who says tryst too? Okay. Ashley thinks he did it to one up Robin's not being a virgin. He wanted to seem desirable. Oh, it's a good point, Ashley. It's a good point. Like, she's more worldly and cooler than he is. She was the cool girl who got pregnant before she even got married. She's like, all right, I am too. Did anyone else hear the he? I know the audio doesn't work on StreamYard on the same computer. So I can't play it for you. All right. Carly No Twitter said you thought it was it. Okay. Lisa thought it was he. Moira thought it was it. Hummingbird thought it was it. I still think it's he. It was a little tryst. He is a little tryst. Could you guys hear it when I played it at all? Or is that just from when you guys... I told you he said he. I swear he said he. I mean, just... I don't know if it's because the first time I heard it, like it hit me that way, that it sounded that way, but my brain is interpreting it that way every time I hear it now. Donna, Jenny, if so, you would be horrified of my reading of my work script for work if Cody's words drive you nuts. What do you do for work, Donna, again? Reading of your work script. Cody does the most bizarre things in his language. I guess that's why it drives me nuts. He often will leave out articles. He leaves out the, and those words. He will leave it a plural. He will leave an S off of a plural form of a word, or he will put an S on a word that is singular form. Like, this is what I'm saying. It sounds like English is a second language. He does these tiny grammatical errors with these morphemes that would be common for somebody who's learning English as their second language, because this is the difficult nuances of grammar that's unique to English from other languages. All right. Lynn Skinner. If Cody moves to Europe, he can take Carrie and Megan with him. Oh, that's funny. No, I would watch that. That's a show. Yeah, he didn't even know what Stonehenge was, the man, but he wants to go to Europe. Just Europe. Isn't that what he said? Europe? Was it? He didn't say London or England, did he? I think he said Europe. But he can't go anywhere where they don't speak English, because he can barely speak English. So it's gonna, y'all in Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England, watch out. He's heading your way. I never knew he went to college. I'm not even sure if he completed a semester. So he didn't do much. He didn't like graduate from college at all. I don't know that he even completed a full year of college. And because he doesn't ever talk about it or brag about it, we know he didn't do much. We surmised on Sunday night that he probably got a wrestling scholarship to go to some local college because he was a good wrestler. He was a state champion or close to it or something like that. So he probably did receive financial aid to go, and he probably didn't make the grades. I think you have to keep a 2.0 GPA to be a college athlete in most schools, and probably no higher than that. Some of them are 1.5, I heard, and depending on whatever college he went to, maybe that was all his requirement. But my guess is he didn't keep the grades up, lost the scholarship, and thus left college because he didn't have the money to pay for it. That's probably when he left to go on his mission. That's me guessing. I know none of that for a fact, but you can see no documentation of him really at college. There's mention of it occasionally here or there. They don't talk about it on the show really at all. I don't even know if they mention it on the show, but I know that I've like seen it in passing online that he entered such and such. So like I say, I'm guessing 1 semester, 2 tops, and he was done. And that is so true, Tracy. He is. Oh, Lynn, you think that color correcting is usually helping him, and then they dropped the ball this episode because this one and last one. What is her name? I think it began with an L. I wonder if I had. I said I have to have a sister friend who's a dentist or retired dentist if I know I know of 3 OBGYNs. And sure enough, I have a retired dentist sister friend here. Who, nope. I don't see it here. It'd be easier to find if I had my laptop. I apologize. I can't think of your name, but she was saying that that indeed the things we were talking about, she didn't make a connection with steroids, but she said that as a dentist, what she would identify often is that people who were was depressed and was it anxiety disorders, depression, and something else. I can't remember what the second thing is off the top of my head now. I wish I had the shoot. You know what? While we're at it, while I'm here, let me go in the back office and change the names down below. And ta-da! Boom! There we go. There's the other 2 levels scrolling now. Gosh, I cannot recall, but if I come across it on my desktop, because I had screenshotted her name, which I think it's like Lauren or Laura or something like that, and I had the message too. But everything is in a very different spot on this computer. They're both Apples, so they share the same information, but all the little icons and everything go in different spots. Not very friendly. Okay. So she said, and then I thought, I said, oh, that is really interesting that as the dentist, you could be almost like on the front line of helping somebody identify if they need to seek help or if they're going through something. Like you could be, especially as a dentist, because you're just sitting there talking almost like a hairdresser, although they can't talk back that much, but you could be talking to them about their lives in terms of if somebody's going through something, finding out if they're going through something in their life, because one of the signs of depression is just, it goes back to just oral hygiene. not taking care of your teeth, because when you're depressed, you just don't. Which is interesting to me because I had said, I don't understand why his teeth are so yellow. He is so vain. This is what's confusing me. Like, is he doing it on purpose because this is a step he needs to do pre-veneers or something like that? And she said that she did, file the teeth down, I believe, before veneers. I believe there was something else she said before veneers too. But it didn't look like they were just filed down. They're just like getting all yellow. I don't know. So that could be it, which would be an indication that he actually is in a worse condition than we realize. If he would be at the point that he wouldn't be, because Cody's so vain. If he gets to the point that he's not brushing his teeth and he's letting his teeth yellow like that, I mean, they almost look like they're starting to rot because of that. But it could just be the shades. But didn't it look like it was yellow and brown and like they were spotty? But that could also be like if there's plaque on them, and that different spots would be different colors. Oh, it's so gross. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Kim Appel. Is this going to be the name of Cody's new business? I don't know. I just saw that. I have no idea. Oh, we are coming up with names of something. Pamela. We trysted at my behest. Yep. You're all coming up with names. His autobiography, huh? Okay. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Yeah, no, he did not know what Stonehenge was. And he didn't know that Mary was ever interested in it. And apparently, for the past 35 years, she's been talking about it. And it's always been a dream. That's the one place she's wanted to go. And she's been researching it and studying it and watching documentaries on it. And he's like, you want to go to Stonehenge? Yeah. Okay. My bit thinks that he was probably being a man's man by talking about his college experience. That could be. That could be. Yes, Bitty B, I'm a speech pathologist. Right now, I just work online with kids that do online schooling through the virtual academies, but they still have IEPs and have speech. So those are my kiddos that I work with. So I am work from home. Oh, Sister Wives 2. Cody is gay. Oh, maybe these are titles also. I was thinking that they were autobiographies of him, but these could be new spinoffs. Got it. Okay. I'm just kind of scrolling up and down and up and down. I'm not going in order. Okay. Well, right, Mama Corpse Maker, makes me wonder if this is why he's so opposed and offended. Although he was trying to act really cool with Gwendolyn on this episode, but we know that he's had issues in the past with Leon. I think a look back would be very interesting since we have such knowledge now of the part of the future. Yeah. We're going to have a good time. We will start the week after this ends. Next week, season 1, episode 1. We're jumping in. We're jumping in. I know I'm jumping all around. You're probably like, where are you referring to? Yeah, Julie, I'm with you on this one. I'm getting married. I'm sorry to even say that because it drove me nuts last year by the end of the season. But I was so happy for her and I hated Cody so much that I just thought, okay, I'm letting it go. I wonder if she kept saying it because she thought it was cute and nobody told her it's not cute. It's not a good look. That might be part of it. I'm almost hoping it is, but anyway, we get to hear it all again, which is just making it now get to the point of nails on a chalkboard. Since you didn't know, said, remember the creepy speech he gave to one of his daughters and her boyfriend, which then broke them up because they were moving too fast. Yeah. The whole hormones and pheromones passing between their saliva. And that's why you can't kiss before you're married, although he and Robin were kissing. Mm-hmm. So we now know that he breaks the rules before he even got married, and he kept that secret. We know he kept all these secrets about Mary. Oh, we need to talk about that now. And all the things he required of her, never told anybody about that. Oh, what are all the other secrets that he didn't tell? Oh, we know that he had sex before he got married. Okay. We know that he was kissing his girlfriend while his wife was in labor in the hospital. Tried to keep that a secret. Cameras caught him. I don't know who mentioned honey buns, but man, I love honey buns. They're so good. They are probably one of the worst things in the world you can put in your body, but that's why they taste so good. Okay. Oh, you want me to play it one more time, Moira? Okay. I will. I didn't know you guys could hear it because on Sunday night, nobody was hearing the stream really well at all. So I switched over to use my laptop for the audio. I will play it again. All right, I went 30 seconds back, so this is a little bit before it because it's a 30-second jump. It still sounded like he. I don't know why it sounds like he to me. Yes, you're right, Lenny. It was a female. It was one of his friends said it on camera. She's like, I'm shocked he went into polygamy because we all thought he was gay. Yeah. Oh, you couldn't hear it that well. Well, I'm putting it in my editing thing. I've already talked about it. I haven't edited that section yet, but I talked about it when I recorded it because that's what I hear every time I listen to it. That's what I hear. So I'm like, this is what I hear. I'm just going to talk about it because this is what I hear. What do you hear? So I will have it in there. I will not have any altering done to it whatsoever. I will make a completely clean cut of it so you can hear it. No speed altering or anything. You know, sometimes I have to tweak things so that it gets past copyright infringement stuff. But I will make sure that it's as pure can be. And then you all decide and let me know. Okay. Oh, yeah, we do know how many episodes. Y'all, how many episodes? You all know. 22, I think. I think there's 22 episodes. Or is it more than that? But you got to remember, when they count episodes, I think they count all the episodes. And last year, we had 2 Christine wedding episodes. We had 2 look backs. We had 2 talk backs. And we had 4, didn't we? 3 or 4. I think it was 4 because I think each wife was a focus of each one. 4 of the couch interview one-on-one. So there were like 10 extra episodes beyond the actual show. And there were like 20 some of those episodes too. So when the actual footage will end, I don't know. And I feel like they're going to do I have no information on this whatsoever, but my guess is the reason we're seeing so little of Janelle, which is breaking my heart because I love Janelle and she's my favorite right now anyway. Throughout the entire season or throughout the entire series, my favorite has changed. Started with Christine and then went to Janelle. So it hasn't changed a whole lot, but anyway, but I feel like she's probably in a lot of scenes with her boys. And so she's just asked for the entire scene rather than trying to edit out. I think that a lot of those are just taken. This is my opinion. I don't know any of this for a fact. This is my opinion, all my opinion. I feel like a lot of those scenes were probably just taken out, or she just requested just take the whole scene out because it would remind me of the conversations I was having or being in that situation with this. So they took a lot of that out. And so I feel like that's why we're not seeing much of Janelle. And what we do see is largely talking head interviews because it's her reacting, although they could have still had her react to Cody's comment, even if it was on Zoom. And then I feel like they might do a special targeted episode regarding Garrison rather than trying to weave that storyline into this current season. Because this season is not really addressing Cody's relationship with his kids that much. It's really about his relationship with his wives. Whereas last season and the season before was largely about his relationship with his kids. And this one hasn't been. They've pulled back from that storyline significantly. So it wouldn't really fit into this season. So I feel like that's what's going to happen. So we might have, maybe even 2. I don't know. But at least I feel like we're going to have a Garrison targeted episode addressing the overall situation. So I feel like that's going to be one. But I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm shooting from the hip here. Just trying to put 2 and 2 together based on everything I'm watching and seeing and trying to figure it out. All right. Yes. It was nice seeing that, wasn't it? And I'm guessing they put that in there because it's already been aired. That exact scene was already aired last year, but it was really nice to see him there. It's good to see him smiling. There was another scene that I saw him in too. I can't remember, related to Christine's wedding. I can't remember where it was, but at any rate, just seeing him and he was smiling there too. It's just, God bless him. Okay. Everything with Tony is very awkward to me. Yeah, he's kind of an awkward guy. He's odd. James always questioned how sad Cody was when his friend left the wedding with Robin. And how he cried. I don't remember that. Left what wedding with Robin? And remember I remember the bromance with Caleb. Geesh, yeah. Crying like a baby when Caleb was leaving to go to North Carolina. And the whole time Maddie's like, okay. Caleb was too. Caleb's like, okay. And I think it was really funny. I think Caleb was just milking it up then because afterwards he went, he did the fake, I'm going to wipe tears away. No tears. But Cody was just blubbering and blubbering and blubbering. So I think he was trying to make him feel better. Neither he nor Maddie had any tears. But I do know that Cody was, I was thinking about during his wedding to Mary at their wedding reception, how he talked about how he was so excited that his friends were there and he was seeing everybody and talking to everybody and he was having more fun hanging out with his buddies and talking to everybody. And he didn't want to go home. He didn't want to leave the wedding with Mary when it was time to go. He wanted to stay and hang out and talk with all his buddies who he hadn't seen in such a long time. I'm like, yeah, that's weird. It doesn't matter how long it's been. That's weird. It's your wedding night. And you apparently hadn't had sex until that night. Probably a good call. It would be hard for Janelle. Yeah. And I've mentioned this before. I'd heard this, that TLC did, as soon as the situation with Garrison happened, TLC did ask Janelle, should we shut everything down? This should, at this point. And Janelle said no. That cameras could keep rolling because it would be I don't have the exact words. The implication that I understood from whatever release I read was it was important for other people maybe going through the same thing or who had been through the same thing, rather than pretending like it never happened, to go through it and to use it to help somebody else. So for that reason, the cameras continue to go. So there is footage, but the situation actually is season 21. They were shooting at the time, but they weren't shooting season 20. They weren't shooting season 19. Season 19 was already in the can. Season 20 was what they were shooting. But I just feel like because this happened in March of 2024 and we're already in 2025, are we really going to wait until the next season before we're going to address it? So that's why I feel like we're going to have a standalone episode dealing with the situation at the end of this season. And then maybe address it again next season, possibly. But I just feel like that's a huge leap of time to not address it, to only have the black screen at the beginning of the season with the white words that had, 2 or 3 sentences. In my opinion, but I don't know. Okay. Oh, that would be interesting. Yellow teeth from sources of the liver, because the liver turns yellow. Could be a connection between alcohol. I mean, when you think of people who are alcoholics, I mean, like serious alcoholics anyway, you do think of like their teeth, but then I don't know. I guess I don't know. I pictured them. I'm getting confused with the person who's the alcoholic and the crack addict together and picturing their teeth. So I'm going to look and see if you have more information on the guy leaving with Robin and him crying situation. I don't know what that was. Which wedding? That'll help. Maybe that's why he wasn't ready to leave with Mary, since he'd had his tryst, whereas Mykelti and Tony, having abstained, couldn't wait. LOL. Were they excited to get going? I can't remember that episode too much. I don't think I paid much attention to it. Danny's talking about the male guest at Cody and Robin's wedding. I think he was Cody's partner at their Mormon mission together. He was crying and carrying on about how much he loved him. Wow, Fairy D. I don't remember that. Huh. Wouldn't that be funny if that was his tryst? Uh, oh, knit my bet. Bless you. I truly respect Janelle with her decision from someone who's been touched by that type of tragedy. Bless you. Keeps dinging on my watch. Oh. Do you ever get is anyone in those group chats on Messenger? And then all of a sudden everyone starts talking. I don't know how to turn it off. I can turn it off off my phone, but I don't know. Okay, it's fine. I'll just ignore it now that I know. Okay, so the last thing we have to talk about before we go is Mary and the blanket. Crazy. Oh, somebody called Robin a helicopter wife. It's funny. So the blanket scene I found interesting. Okay, the biggest standout thing for it, besides the fact Mary's too nice to Cody, okay, put that aside. And she was way too kind in terms of how gentle and careful she was at taking each one of his little shirts out, of which there were like 3 or 4. Because it seemed like the bulk of the shirts were what the two of them did together. So really, he just wanted the couple shirts of his from high school. That's it. His wrestling t-shirts, that's what he wanted back. Robin doesn't want them. She doesn't want a cut out, odd shaped front of some t-shirt from back in the day before she ever met him or knew him. No. Oh, you didn't like Mary's quilt, Pamela? I liked it. I thought it was nice because I'm so used to the t-shirt quilts that are all just like 1 foot by 1 foot. They cut out the front, and so it's like boom, 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 boom. I've seen so many of those that I appreciated the kind of patchworky, handmade nuances that were in this, cutting out other little things and sticking it in different spots. It doesn't matter. It's all torn apart now. But yeah, so what did she have? Like 4, remember she said, here's Cody's pile, and she folded over like 3 or 4 shirts. That was it. And then she had her pile, and then the huge pile in the back was everything that was theirs. So he wanted just his t-shirts back because he's a brat. Unbelievable. And she was too kind to him to do it. But the kicker of all kickers is the fact that we find out that Cody said to her right when they moved to Vegas. So this would be 2 years after he met Robin. 1 year after Robin was married in the family. Not even. Were they even there for a whole year in Lehigh? We'll say they were. So 2 years after he met Robin, 1 year into the marriage with Robin, he says to Mary, for the past 20 years, you've been rotten to me. And if you want to stay in this marriage with me, you have to make it up to me. So since it was 20 years I had to deal with you, you're going to deal with me, treating you the same way for 20 years. And she said, okay. What? There's the disconnect. That's where I'm lost. All right. Thank you, Walk Away Renee. I would have told Cody to bring a pair of scissors, and I'd lay the quilt out and laugh at him with my best friend while he worked. It would be funny. He'll set up some lounge chairs in the living room with some pina coladas and put sunglasses on and just sit back there and pretend like you're at the beach. And just drink and laugh, clink glasses, and just watch him sit there, take it all apart. Yep. And he wouldn't have done as good a job as they did. They were very kind, how well they meticulously took it apart. Yes. I would not be so kind to him. No, he was very kind to her. Very. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Walker Renee. Okay. Well, yeah, that's true now, Kathy with a C. Mary's religion told her she had to suffer to be pious. Her mom kept sending her back to Cody to suffer. That's right. Her mom loved Cody. She was stuck. I totally forgot about that. Her mom loved Cody. So when she would go, and she loved her mom, her and her mom were close. So when she would go to her mom for help and advice, her mom would turn her right around, push her back, do what you have to do to get in his good graces. That's your job as a wife in this faith. Oh, it's sick, really, isn't it? Oh. Maybe she discovered that sex is actually fun. Oh, Mary? Oh, I know Christine did. Whoops, I got a hair on me. Mary might have too, with her little Amos guy. And now that might be why she's completely over Cody. She's moved on. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to have a good time too? Top messages and all messages. All messages, well, it used to be top messages and, well, yeah, I guess I didn't know it was called all messages. It used to just be, anyway. Top messages you don't want. Top messages puts kind of the most important ones that YouTube thinks it is, and then also the algorithm picks if people are responding to certain other people, it kind of pushes them at the top. So if you want to see the chat in chronological order, do it as all. Don't do top messages. Do all messages. Yeah. Lynn, I guess she needed something to do that day. Yeah, whatever. Need something to do. I'll just chop this thing up. It would have been more fun to see her like really tear apart the places that they went and have her say something disparaging about him. Oh, this is where he told me that he never enjoyed sleeping with Christine, or, like give some dirt and then rip it up. Like, what a hypocrite. He shouldn't have done that. And, this is why I didn't get along with Janelle, because when we went here, he said this about her. Now that would have been a good episode. I'm telling you, I have to produce the show, everything for these people. Go right off the top of the bat, this whole scene with Cody losing his virginity in college needed to be an entire episode. It could have milked a lot out of this by talking to lots of people and then going back to the other people and showing what they said and then going back to other people. We would have gotten stories to come out. People would have been spilling the tea like you wouldn't believe. Yes, they would have. They would have. Oh, goodness. Okay. Vixen. Cody equals village idiot. Indeed. Indeed. J.L. I'd like to see Cody and Mary have a love too. Yes. I would love for Mary and Janelle to both find the loves of their lives. Not because they need one, because no woman needs a man to fulfill them. And definitely Janelle doesn't. Mary almost does. And I hate to say any woman does, but Mary I mean, because Christine almost does. Like, there's some people are just wired in a way that they just need a partner. And she has Jen. So Mary does have a partner in crime, if you will, to hang out with. But Christine is the hopeless romantic. Like, it's just perfect that she found the perfect man. Mary would be the next one in terms of like really having somebody solid there. But Mary needs to do so. She's the one that needed to do the most work on herself. So it's good that she doesn't have somebody now, but I definitely want somebody for her down the road. Give her another year to really continue to work with this amazing therapist that she has and continue to dive deep. And then Janelle needs nobody. But that's why that would be the best one for her to get somebody. It would just be sweet. And you know what? I think that would bother Cody the most is Janelle falling in love with somebody and having a guy like really take good care of her. I don't know why, but I really think that that would stick in his craw more than any of the rest of them. And that brings me joy. Okay. So the fact that Mary had that kind of information all along bothers me a little bit because it shows how much she overtly lied to us over the years and started to make us think that we were crazy when we're watching something on TV going, you need to leave, you need to leave. And she kept saying, like, you don't know. You don't know what happens. Is you don't see it all. Like now we know she's right. We didn't see it all. It's worse. It is worse than we thought. He was worse to her. He was meaner to her. And it has gone on longer than we could have ever imagined. So that bugs me. That bugs me. Because when she would say it, I'd be like, well, that's true. I only see so many hours. So she has a whole life and maybe there is other things going. She keeps saying he says other things, I guess. So no, he doesn't. She just believed him and believed that he just says mean things when he's upset. And then he comes right out and says, I don't say mean things when I'm upset. I just basically speak the truth is kind of what he said. And if it happens to be mean, it happens to be mean. Oh, he's mean. He was so mean in this episode. He's probably the meanest he's ever been. The worst. The worst. How many times have I said that? Okay. You are welcome, Danny. Danny, I don't remember. You have that icon too. What is that? That must be a certain month, but why does it look so different? It should be that's not what it looked like when I created it. It should have a number in it. I wonder what number that is. I'm going to have to go look that up and see how many months you guys have been subscribers. Kathy, Scarlett, Danny, maybe it's supposed to be a 3? Did we hit 3 months? But that looks like a Superman sideways, doesn't it? I don't know what it is. Dana, we missed you on Sunday night. Okay, well, I think we've made it to the end. This was a crazy. Is it just me, or was this packed with a whole bunch of craziness in this episode? Not boring. Not bored. Not bored. I don't know. Maybe easily entertained. I don't know. Not because on what episode was it? I gave up on Vanderpump Rules. I didn't even watch the final of the 3 reunion shows. I didn't recap the 3rd one because I didn't even watch it because I was like done. And then Welcome to Plathville. Got bored with that one too, but I will finish that in the off season of Sister Wives because that bothers me that I didn't finish it. And maybe I'll even do Vanderpump. Nobody's going to watch it at this point. Nobody cares, but I'll finish, definitely finish Welcome to Plathville because that's sort of kind of similar to this type of show. And also on TLC. And I am kind of interested to see how it ends. I sort of saw in the previews how it's going to end, but I haven't watched it yet to do the recaps. And that bothers me because I kind of stopped not mid-season, but near the end of the season. And then that doesn't seem right. So, all right. I'd love to see, yeah. Love to see the episode from 1994 with Barker and Cody on Price is Right. Apparently, he made it all the way to the end and passed on the final showcase and overbid on the second one and lost. Really? Is that how it ended? Oh, passed on the first showcase, overbid on the second and lost. Gosh, it's been so long. So on the first showcase, did he win it? Like he could have taken it, but he chose to not take it and go for something bigger. Is that how it works? Like he had something, but he chose to go for something even better. Where have we seen that before? He already had something, but chose to go for something better and then lost it all. Price is Right is his life. Little did he know it was foreshadowing of his television life. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have heard a bunch of people trying to find it and they couldn't. I just wish my daughter still worked at CBS where she had access to, or even just still lived in LA where a lot of her friends lived and they work for different stations. I don't know what channel Price is Right was on. I don't think it was on CBS. But she had friends that worked at Fox and friends that worked at different places that I wonder if she could have gotten access to the show. But she's in Tennessee now and working for a podcast company. And so she's in a whole different world. Those days have gone by. I don't even have access to all my ratings that I used to have. She used to have access to all the Nielsen ratings and everything. That was it. Oh, it was on CBS, Kathy. Oh, see, I could have had access to it. Oh, well. Oh, well. What can you do? Okay, quote before we go. I have a great quote that kind of turns into like a whole story. So I'm not going to read it today. One of these days when we have a really short stream, like maybe when we're recapping, when we start in season 1 in that, I'll read the one that I just got this week that came from a podcast that I was listening to. And it was, it was a good quote. The quote's short, but then I had to write the whole definition as to how the guy got to it. Not the definition, but the story behind how the guy got there, which is just really a paragraph. But then it made me start to reflect. And then I started writing because I started thinking, I got to share this with my sister friends. And I started writing how it might relate to your life. And then some of it's how it might relate to my life. So it's just kind of all embedded in there. And it ended up being like this, like almost like a page that I have all like typed in my notes. So someday I'll get to that. But the next one in my notes app that I brought out, which is kind of a fun one. This is a quote, very short one line, and it's from Albert Einstein. And it is, creativity is intelligence having fun. I like that. Creativity is intelligence having fun. So the next time somebody makes fun of you for doing arts and crafts or something like that, you tell them creativity is intelligence having fun. And it's so true. It really is. Left brain, right brain. Tap into both of them. All right. Here we go. I'm going to sign off. All right. Good night, everybody. I see you all saying good night. Good night, good night, good night. We'll see you next week for another one. Bye.